Yo, welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first ever epic RealChampTalk podcast. The most authentic basketball talk with real ball players. And we're just gonna do it like that, man. I'm gonna introduce a special guest today, man. Real baller, he's a champion. Alright, been doing it for a little minute. And we're gonna get to what he's doing currently. Alright. But first we're gonna take it back and we're gonna give you a nice little timeline and kind of guide through his career. Welcome to Long Island Outdoors, Freeport. The setting is real, it's different. You know what I'm saying? I got my man Ash in the building, aka I call him Soundboy Burial. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. He's a real killer, and you can catch him this year for the G League affiliate squad, Brooklyn Nets. Played at Long Island Lutheran, representing the BX. Boogie down Bronx. Ash, welcome to the RealChampTalk.
Thanks for having me, man.
Podcast, man. So we're gonna get started. We're gonna take it back to when you first started playing ball. Elaborate on when did your love of the game kind of like first start, and when you like first started playing ball, and like who did you kind of like grow up watching? Speak on the history of like your start of basketball.
So I started playing ball when I was like 9 or 10 years old, but this is like interesting. When I was young, like I used to wake up at like 6:30 in the morning, get ready for school, for middle school. Mm-hmm. And I grew up where I grew up at was in Hunts Point Avenue, Bronx, New York. So I used to wake up at like 6:30 in the morning, and I used to watch N1 Mixtape on ESPN. They used to show it early in the morning before I went to school. So I started seeing that, and I was like, yo, the moves they're doing is, crazy. So I was like, I just want to start playing basketball because I saw that. And I would try to do the moves in school, like, whenever we had gym or in the park, but I didn't have no handles.
Yeah.
So I kept, just kept working and working. But my love for the game started from N1 Mixtape, really.
See, that's dope. That's dope. Started from the street ball style, and then you just gravitated towards it. So talk about those early moments on the playground growing up in the Bronx. How was the competition? Did you feel that like kind of like honed your game with the toughness and the way it plays? Speak on that playground experience growing up in New York City.
Like growing up in the Bronx, like in my block alone, in my area alone, like we had so many good ball players. And I wasn't, like, when I first started out, I wasn't that good. But I always had a determination in me to keep on striving. So, like, I would just, play pickup ball all the time in the parks. Like, me and my friends in my neighborhood, we used to, we'd go as a group and we used to hop the bus. We didn't have no money, really. We used to hop the bus, go to Soundview, play against dudes from Soundview, go to different other places of the Bronx and play against other competition from different areas.
Okay. See, that's dope right there. That's a good start. That's how it usually starts with kids. You get with your group of friends, you start balling, start playing against different areas and kind of gaining that respect, around the hood. So, at what age did it click in your mind, like, you know what, this is exactly what I want to do. Like, I'm going to make this, this is what I'm doing.
I would say when I was like, so I started playing ball when I was 9 or 10. I would say when I was like maybe 14 years old.
Okay. So
like 13, 14.
Okay, so now you're stepping into the high school realm, like going into a freshman year. You kind of figured, this is I can do this.
Yeah, because I remember like all right. So this is how I started getting really good. I have to give my props to my guardian. He's like my father. His name is Randy Harper. He's from the Bronx. So like one day, me and my friends from my neighborhood, we went to this recreation center in the Bronx called St. Mary's. And he used to have a 3-on-3 tournament. And I ended up going, and the team I was on, we made it to the championship, but this guy named Randy Harper, he was there. And after the game, we won the game, and then he asked me what AU team I played for, and I told him the AU team, I told him it was Riverside Church.
Legendary Riverside Church. A lot of great ball players coming through that program.
Yep. But, he felt that the people that was coaching me didn't have my best interest at heart. So he told me to come to Forest Projects, 163rd, and come to the gym there. So me and my friends from my neighborhood started going there, all the time. And then after as time went on, everybody stopped going. And then I was the only one that kept going.
Right.
So I started getting better and better, and he was the guy that got me a lot better.
Got you right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So where did you start out your freshman year of high school playing at?
I played at American Christian, a prep school called American Christian in Aston, Pennsylvania. Tyreek Evans played at the high school as well, so I played with him when he was a senior and I was a freshman.
Okay. So talk about that freshman year playing against that competition in that Philadelphia area. Tell us, as a freshman, how that
as a freshman
experience.
So basically, I went from playing in middle school in the Bronx, and then that jump all the way to prep school. That was like a college. It was like a college team kind of. Because we traveled from Florida to DC to, it was like a college experience. But that competition out there, the competition was real.
Right.
It got me better. I have to guard Tyreek Evans every day in practice.
So, speak on that. What made him? Because you're a freshman, you're going against Tyreek when he's a senior.
Yeah, number one player in the nation.
Number one player at the nation at the time. How was that experience in practice going up against somebody that was? We talking about Reek Evans, man. Reek Havoc.
Reek was he was special, but I mean, guarding him every day in practice, it got me better.
Right.
I wasn't scared to guard him. And I always welcome the challenge.
You want to smoke. That's why you on the show, man.
I want all the smoke.
Yeah.
You feel me? But it got me better. But guarding him every day, it was tough. It was like he's like 6'6", super long arms. He had a lot of moves. He was strong. He could play.
He was going. Okay, so Philly freshman year, got you right. Obviously, you're on a good team. Y'all did your thing, playing Tyreek Evans, so pretty sure you guys did well. And then sophomore year, take us through sophomore year.
So, believe it or not, in the school, American Christian, so I went there for prep school, and my father, I call him he's like my father, Randy Harper. He wanted me to go to American Christian to get out the city, because he knew that one day I'm going to go to college and I got to get used to being away from home. So when I got there, after Tyreek's senior year, they closed the school down.
Oh, man.
So the school was really made for him. He went to that school.
I've seen that done a couple of times. I've seen a couple I forgot what year it was. I remember I turned on the TV and seen it was this team from, I think it might have been Jersey. Yo, man, they had it was ridiculous. And then the next year they closed the school down. They were cracking dudes, man. It was ugly.
It was crazy because it was like when he graduated, so he was there from 7th grade to 12th grade.
Right.
Once he graduated, the donors or whoever was putting the money up for us to travel or who was funding the school, they just shut the school down.
Right.
So then I was gonna go to St. Benedict's and St. Benedict's, Newark, New Jersey. And when I went to the school, that's when they had Tristan Thompson and Mike Kabongo, the point guard. And
played at Texas.
And I had an AAU teammate named Tavon Sledge. He was on the team too. And the coach was Danny Hurley.
Okay. Legendary.
So I went to the school. I played pickup. They wanted to see me play. I played pickup. They liked how I played, but I didn't feel like a normal student there. When I went to the visit, it was it's an all boys school. It's in the hood, and it's really strict. They take your phones away at 8 p.m. and everything. And I was like,
you was
right.
At that age, it didn't click with you. All right.
It didn't feel right, even though it was a big time prep school. But then I had got a call. One of my AAU coaches, I had got a call from someone from Long Island Lutheran. I think it was Coach Carey at the time. And they told me and my dad, my father, and we went up. And at first when I heard Long Island Lutheran, I'm like, I've never even heard of that school. And then I'm like, you know what? It doesn't hurt to try. Go take a look at it. So I went to Long Island Lutheran, and it showed me the tour. I felt like a normal student there. I'm like, this is really how school is supposed to be.
Okay.
So then I remember they were saying Tobias Harris is coming here too as well, and his brother Tyler, and everything. And I was like, I just decided to just go there.
Okay. So now you take me. We going right to where you direct me the right path. Blue High, sophomore year. Coach Carey get you there. Playing with Tobias, got some other good teammates. on that team. KJ played with y'all.
Yes, KJ. Yeah. He played with us. Malachi played with us. Derek,
Decline out there.
EJ.
Steady. Barry Greenlight, shooter.
And Shamon Stephen, he played for the Minnesota Vikings.
Big boy on some strong arm action down low. So you had a nice little crew. So talk about that influence of Coach Carey early on in your career. How was that relationship between you two guys?
So Coach Carey, he's an Irishman. So
legendary, man.
So he he's very fiery. He's a fiery coach, but he's a really good X and O's coach. He knows what he's talking about, and he pushed me to my limits, and he got me a lot better as well. And we won the state championship my first year there at Lehigh, my sophomore year. So I appreciate him for taking a chance on me coming to Lehigh.
Coach Carey did that to he's coached a lot of guys, and it's tough on him. He's just that old school tough, hard nosed, man, but he gets you right, man. Just a good guy. So talk about those practices and how was it, shout out to Tobias Harris, hopefully, when they Long Island do, step on the scene, come in here and chop it up with us. But talk about going against him in practice. How was that? How was y'all battles and stuff like that?
Me and Tobias used to go at it. Like we used to go at it. Sometimes, I have the what's the word I'm looking for? I get the better of the matchup. Sometimes he got the better of the matchup, but we pushed each other and we got each other better. And also, I was highly ranked. I'm class 2011, so I was highly ranked. I was I was 135 in the nation, and then I jumped to number 30 in the nation in my class, and he was highly ranked as well. But a lot of colleges used to come to Lehigh, looking at him, but then they would see me as well.
Right.
And they were like, they would look at him, but they were like, oh, who's this guy right here? So for him being there, I also got a lot of offers as well.
And that's how it goes when you play with good players. Once that one player attracts coaches, they obviously going to see, what else is out there. So, all right, so y'all out there going at it. You're battling in practice. Because I feel like all good teams, if you're on a good team, there's going to be practices where it's like, it gets a little chippy, but after it's all over, it was all love with you guys.
Yeah, it's all bonded. That's what I'm saying. We still talk to this day. I was with him the other day, playing pickup, I think like 3 days ago. At the Yes You Can Center.
Get some good summer on there. Yeah. Okay, so sophomore year, you win the chip, you're moving up in the rankings. Obviously, colleges are looking at you. How do you start feeling confidence-wise? Did that make your confidence go all the way up and getting certain schools?
So backtracking at American Christian, John Calipari, he was the coach at Memphis University. He was there at Memphis first, and he coached Derrick Rose first. So Derrick Rose went to the league, and he offered Tyreek Evans, but he was there at our practice a lot, and he offered me as a freshman in college. In American Christian. But my first college offer was when I was in 8th grade, going to 9th grade. So I had Pittsburgh, Oklahoma State, Fordham. I had a good amount of college, a solid amount of colleges. when I was in 8th grade going to 12th.
So you had to be for those schools to be recruiting you that early. So that means you have to really be frying dudes up.
Yes, I'm not being cocky.
No. Listen. Podcast, we talk that talk. You definitely a humble young man, but listen, man, you just putting dudes.
No, I was putting work in. Like I told you, when I got to 13, 14 years old, 8th grade going to 9th grade, that's when I just remember going to nationals in Florida. That's when I realized I could do I could do something with basketball. But I got my first division offers in 8th grade, but 9th grade, and I got more offers because I was playing with Tyreek Evans as well. And then sophomore year, we won state. Me and Tobias, more exposure. Tobias ended up leaving the school, he went back to Hills West. So now I'm on the radar. I had a lot of colleges still.
Right. So now going into your junior year. So before we get to that, what was your ultimate dream school when you coming up as a youngin'? What was that one dream school that you wanted to play at?
My dream school. So when I was in middle school, 8th grade, you remember Florida University? University of Florida when they had Joakim Noah,
Gator Clap, man.
Al Horford,
Corey Brewer,
and them. Yeah, they won back-to-back NCAA championships. That was like, at first, that was my dream school. Florida, because I was like, yo, this school, this school is lit,
right?
But my dream school really was University of North Carolina, UNC.
Okay, so what influences growing up? What players was you watching at UNC at the time? Was like, oh, like at the time, when you think back, because I know for me coming up, my dream school was like. I was watching like Georgia Tech, Georgetown, Stephon Marbury, Iverson, and the flair they was bringing to the game. I'm like, oh yeah.
I'm trying to remember who was like Wayne Ellington.
Wayne Ellington, he was nice.
I'm trying to remember who was that whole squad. Wayne Ellington, he one of some of the players.
I know he's. I'm trying to think of that cool. Ellington, and a nice little crew. North Carolina, nice little run.
I would say North Carolina was just my dream school, man. But like when I was playing high school basketball, I had so many Division I offers.
Right.
So my top 3 schools was UConn, Villanova, and Kentucky.
All right, so UConn, Villanova, and Kentucky. So now you're going into high school. Take us on college visits. How did that feel? Recruitment, and talk about, take us through that process of recruitment, like the phone blowing up and getting offers and how everybody started,
So I remember, alright, so like in Lehigh, right? So like I said, there's a lot of colleges coming to see Tobias. And I remember UConn came, like head assistant came, and they was looking at Tobias. Obviously they offered him already. And then they saw me playing. I'm killing in practice. And I could see him pointing like to the coach, like, yo, who that? You know what I'm saying? So after practice he came up to me and said, yo, I like how you play. I'm gonna bring Jim Calhoun next week. So next week came along, Jim Calhoun came, and I was killing again. And then after practice, he came up to me and said, well, the offer's on the table. I want you to come up to the Midnight Madness. That's when Kemba Walker was there. And he was saying, he told me, this is what he told me. He said, you remind me of Ben Gordon.
I can see that. I can see that comparison.
So this was my sophomore year when he offered me. He said, you remind me of Ben Gordon. But he said, I feel you're a little better than Ben Gordon when he was a sophomore in high school. That's what he told me.
That's a very highly praised.
Yeah, very highly
Gordon,
praised.
I'm a little, maybe like 2 years ahead of Ben Gordon. So I remember playing out in the Bronx and seeing this young boy at the UDC tournament, catching him backwards, going crazy. I'm like, yo, this kid, he gonna be a problem.
Yeah, Ben Gordon, that was highly praised when he said that. And then and in my mind, I'm like, dang, he really think that? But then I'm also saying to myself that he don't really have to say that.
Right.
He could just say.
Nah, he's not gonna make that up.
He could just say like, oh, the offer, I want to offer you. Just come. He just said, you remind me of Ben Gordon, but you're a little taller than him, and I think you're a little better than him when he was a sophomore in high school.
What did that do for your confidence level?
That raised my confidence up a little more too. So like I went up to the UConn visit, and Tobias was there too, and some other recruits, and that's when Maya Moore was up there, Kemba was there. Like they mixed, so I remember going into the building, I'm with my dad, going into the building is a long student section, like a long line of students, getting ready to go in the gym. So I'm about to walk in through the door, and I hear just everybody just yelling, yo, man, just going crazy. Yeah. And I'm looking at, and they looking at me. So I'm like, I look to my pops, I'm like, yo, what? They know me? That was my first college visit. But whenever a recruiter's on campus in college, they usually put it online.
Right.
So they knew I was coming, and Tobias was coming, and other players was coming.
So they was hyped.
Yeah, it was like, yo, come here. Yeah, it was going crazy. It was like, yo, come here. They was going crazy, and I'm like, damn.
All right, so early on, UConn's at the top of your list. Calhoun giving you that compliment. You said another school. You said Villanova. We're gonna get into that because that's a school you end up signing with. Tell us about that Kentucky visit. How Kentucky do Midnight Madness and all that.
So when I was a freshman, like I said, Calipari offered me to go to Memphis. And when he gave me that offer, I called my dad because my high school coach named Tony Bergeron at the time. He told me Memphis wanted to offer me, and I called my pops and I said, yo, Memphis want to offer me, I'm about to commit. He said, yo, chill out. It's too early. You're only in 9th grade. Like, chill.
All right.
So then, I waited it out. And then, like, as the years progressed, that's when I went to Lehigh, and then he went to Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was in 8th grade at five-star camp, they had it at Fordham.
Mm-hmm.
This guy named Orlando Antigua. Oliver Antigua, the same race coach, that's his older brother. So I think it's his older brother or younger brother. But Orlando, at the All-Star game in five-star, he was a Pittsburgh coach. About Pitt. So he told me, like, I remember when I was getting ready, like, it was like free time in five-star camp, and he like said, when is your next game? I said, we about to play in this All-Star game at this time. Then he said, okay, cool. I want to see you play. I heard you the real deal. That's what he said. So then he saw me play. We won the All-Star game. I did well. So then he joined the Kentucky staff. So now, remember, he offered me when I was in Pitt, when he was in Pitt. So then now he's with the Kentucky staff. And Calipari offered me. So now it's hand in hand. You get what I mean? So basically, when I was at Lehigh, they offered me, well, the offer was still on the table. I went to the Kentucky visit. That's when John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, Eric Bledsoe, and
that's cool. Somebody else.
The others. And so that visit, I would say was my craziest visits. Because, like, at that visit, the recruits that came was me, Michael Gilchrist, Tobias, and Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie Irving at the time.
Yeah, so all four of us was at that visit. So that's now this is John Wall, like I said, DeMarcus Cousins, Eric Bledsoe, freshman year.
And the atmosphere is crazy. You see in the crowd, it's like,
yeah. So we, when we was at the visit, we was hanging out with John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins. I got some stories about something that went down. But I don't want to, I don't want to
put them brothers on the spot.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that, but it was a fun visit.
You had a fun visit. You had a good time.
And then that's when also, like, in the locker room. All four of us in the locker room. And that's when Drake walks in. Tayshaun Prince. I didn't know Tayshaun went to Kentucky, but I saw him walk in the locker room.
Long arm, lefty of the law, man. He's out there putting work in Kentucky.
And I just remember, like, we was there, we took a picture with Drake, and then we just there in the locker room, just getting the experience. We, around John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins and everybody. And I remember vividly, like, they let us go out first. So now Kentucky hosts 24,000 people in the arena.
And they all rough and going crazy.
They're going crazy. So, like, I remember me, Kyrie, Gilchrist, and Tobias, we were walking out the hallway to go out the arena, because we was going out first before the team.
Right.
And then I remember everybody was like, nah, you go first. I'm like, I said, you know what? I'm going to just go first. I remember I stepped out, and then everybody else came as well, and then the whole stadium was going crazy. Like,
yeah.
So then I remember, like, then we go to the sideline. That's when they started introducing the Kentucky basketball team. That's when you seen when John Wall was doing this.
Yeah, John Wall dance.
Yeah, I was there for that. Yeah. So he came up this little elevator thing doing
turning up.
All this, Then they played 5-on-5, and it was crazy. That visit was that visit was crazy.
Okay, so get to. I remember going into your senior year. Right, you start moving up the charts, the rankings. Name is out there. You just climbing up the charts. You're putting in work, having good summers. I see you progressing, getting better and better. When did you commit? At what time period did you commit to Villanova? Did you commit before your senior season started, or
sophomore year. So going into my junior year, that's when I committed.
Okay.
So I committed my junior year, and originally I was going to go to UConn. That was the school that I really wanted to go to, and UConn got in trouble, and I seen some of the coaches resigning, and I was saying to myself, I don't want to go to UConn, and Calhoun is not there.
Yeah, right.
And I didn't know Cavanaghi was going to be the coach, because I kind of know Cavanaghi a little bit. I met him at NBA Top 100 camp.
Right.
And I was like, dang, like, I don't want to go there, and he's not the coach. So then, I just decided to go to Villanova. And then on that Villanova visit, I remember Coach Wright, on that visit, he kept saying to people, I'm on the golf cart riding with him through campus. And he kept saying to people, he's going to be my next Randy Foye.
Randy Foye.
Randy Foye was tough. But he just kept saying that, and, they were high on me. But I decided to go there because it was a guard school. UConn was a guard school as well, but...
And then obviously your history of high school, playing in that Philadelphia area, so it was kind of like a little comfort zone for you. Okay, so you commit your junior year. Tell us, because a lot of dudes get comfortable, like once they sign, they kick their feet up and they feel like they gotta work. What was your mentality like when you signed? Do you feel like more people was coming at your neck, being that you was made yourself a little target?
So definitely when I signed, I definitely was a target to people. But like I said, I'm from the Bronx, and my parents from West Africa. So like I just seeing my dad, like my dad was a truck driver, my mom was a nurse. She worked, had a lot of overtimes and stuff, and just seeing their work ethic made me work hard at whatever I did, and that was basketball. So when I signed, I didn't get satisfied. I was like, I want to keep getting better. I want to do, just like I'm doing well in high school, I want to do well in college. So I just kept working hard and, kept getting better. And after I signed too, like, anybody, whoever thought I was a target, I welcome the challenge. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, I played against like Lance Stevenson.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna get into some of them high school battles. Go through some of them high school battles and guys you went head up with that you highly respect. So we said Lance Stevenson is one.
Yeah, Lance Stevenson, they Lincoln High School, Coney Island. They came to Long Island Lutheran, and we played them. And I remember, like I started off guarding Lance, because usually I guarded the best player when I was at Lou. So, and I wanted to guard Lance, because I was like, Lance was a senior, he was like top 5 in the nation, top 3. And I was a sophomore. So I was like, I want to guard him, I want to see where I stand. So I was guarding him, and then I remember he had got like a quick bucket on me real quick. So I was like, nah, let me wait, I gotta wake up. So then I remember Tobias was like, nah, let me guard him. I was like, no, I want to guard him. So me and Tobias arguing, like, nah, let me guard him. So I said, go ahead. I let Tobias guard him, he guard him. So then I was going off that game. And I remember I was going off so much that Lance switched off to guard me. Because that game got real trippy, like me and him was going to fight and everything. So he switched off to guard me. And I remember when I came up the court, and I brought the ball up the court, and I swung it to one of my teammates, maybe it was Derek or KJ. Then he said, see, I got people scared to score on me. That's what he said to me. Right? So then I didn't even say nothing back. I'm like, all right. I brought the ball up again, hit the 3 in his face, bang. Brought it up again, hit another one, bang.
Back to back
on me. So now he got heated. And there's a lot of people at the game. So so he's like, I'm a sophomore, he's a senior. You know what I'm saying? So he's, I gained his respect that game. And I think we ended up winning that it was a scrimmage game, but it was like
y'all
a real
going at it
game.
like it was like a real game.
So I remember this guy, Tom Konchowski?
Tom Konchowski, the top recruiter who's been around for 9
he remembers everyone.
years. He remembers everyone.
Everybody's name. So he came up to me and said, congratulations, Ash, you had 30 points. I said, what? I didn't even know I had 30. I was just in the zone.
He was in his own.
Yeah, because me and Lance was like going at it. And then Lance had like 36 that game.
Right.
And I think we ended up winning by like 2 or 4. It was a close game. But it was a great. And then that even boosted up my confidence even more.
Right.
Like,
now you see that you can hang with like the top doors that are, you know what I'm saying, on the big stage out there holding their own. So. All right. So going into your senior year, you rocking and rolling. I remember coming to a game. I think y'all played Baldwin. Did you drop somebody that game with the in and out on the fast break? You came down and danced on. I think somebody might have dropped. You might have dropped somebody on that game. I think you dropped somebody that game. You was coming down, dancing.
That game was packed.
That game was packed. Like, yo, come check it out. And you was carving dudes up, getting. I think you might have dropped somebody that game. I remember you coming down on the fast break, high stepping, dancing down the middle of the court. You like dance somebody like finish with like a nice little butter roll. I'm like, all right, he's on the killing spree. So senior year, you finish up. What's your mindset going into college? Obviously Villanova, Jay Wright.
Hold on. You skipping something?
Oh, I'm skipping something.
So I on my senior year, we played. So my senior year, we didn't play a lot of Long Island schools. We played Baldwin, St. Mary. We played maybe 4 Long Island schools. We mostly played like city schools, Rice, St. Ray's, schools in Philly or New Jersey. And when we played 4th game of the season, we played St. Mary's. And that year, St. Mary's was they was undefeated that year. So we played St. Mary's. We lost by 4. I think it was. And we were the number 1 team in Long Island. They were number 2 team. So they beat us by 4. So now, I got friends on that team. We played together AAU. So, now they talking trash. They hype. They like, they saying, we the best team on the island, But mind you, like, that year we only lost like 4 games. And they were undefeated. So I remember that game, I said, this is the 4th game of the season. I said, I hope we play them in state.
Don't tell me I matched up with them in states.
I said, I hope we play them in state. Yeah. That's 4th game of the season. So now to the 30th game of the season, I think it was 30th game, we played them at state. Now they 29-0. Not the 30th game, whatever. They were 29-0. So now, the semi-final game, first we played Janesville DeWitt.
Okay.
From Syracuse. And we beat them. They had a big man named DeJuan Coleman. He was highly recruited going to Syracuse.
Okay, DeJuan Coleman.
Yeah, so we upset them. Whatever. They caught them. We upset them. We beat them. Now we playing St. Mary's. Now I'm like, they 29-0.
This is what you've been waiting for.
They had fans in the crowd that had shirts that said 30-0.
Oh.
So now I'm like, all right, we got to win this game. This is my senior year. So in the beginning, we were losing. All of a sudden, like I think 3rd quarter, I turned it up. I scored like 12 straight. And I scored like 12 straight. My man Mikey Florin, he started.
Mike Florin.
He turned up. Sean Lawton turned, like and then we just took the lead. We won by 27.
Oof.
So they were 29-0.
Clapped them up.
We lost by 4 to them earlier that season. We won by 27 that game.
So that was like a statement game.
Like, that was a statement game. They had a bunch of fans that said 30-0.
So y'all ruined that real quick.
Yeah, so then we won state.
So you got that. So you were 2-time state champion.
Yeah, sophomore and senior year. Junior year, we had a chance to win 2, but we lost in the semis.
We got losing in the semis.
We lost to this team. They upset us. They shot like 60% from 3. The school from Buffalo.
Upstate schools and boys can shoot it.
A lot of people don't know that year I was hurt.
Right.
Like I was recovering from a surgery in my foot. Right? Yeah. But for some reason that game, so like that year, like some games I will feel it, like pain on my foot, and some games I won't. But for some reason that semi-final game, I felt a lot of pain in my foot, and it was like my back was locking off. Yeah, I ain't trying to make no excuses.
Yeah, right. Nah.
But people didn't know that. And then that senior year I was 100%. Got back to 100%.
Right. It's like that sometimes, man. Battles. I look back at my career. Some games, like, if I ain't have this, like some games, I remember playing like a pulled groin, or like you just know certain games, like you ain't had that little agony injury. It's like it's nothing you could do. Yeah. All right. So senior year, finish up strong, state champion, 2-time high school, feeling real good. You're going into your college year, freshman. Villanova,
you skipping something again.
I'm skipping something again, bro?
Yeah, you skipping something again. So my senior year, we won state.
Oh, you like staying in the senior year. You was
cooking.
Yeah, nah. Go through it.
We gonna get to college.
Yeah, we gonna slow walk the dog.
So we won state. And then I remember Coach John Buck. He was my coach for my junior and senior year.
Okay, that's right. Because Carrie coached
my sophomore year, and then he left.
Speak on and talk about how... relationship with Coach Buck.
Relationship with Coach Buck was great. Like he demanded a lot. He pushed me and everyone on the team, and he played at Wake Forest with Chris Paul. So like he's like a student to the game. Like a lot. He'll pick up on plays from college coaches. He even came to the NBA top 100 came by 1 to 2.
Right.
Picking up on things too. But I remember one day I was in the Commons. The Commons area before the lunchroom in Blue Eye. So I'm just there. During lunchtime, I see Coach Buck. He was a math teacher at the time. So he came out of his classroom, and he looked at me with a mad face, like, "Yo, come in." Like, in my mind, I'm like, what? I did something wrong?
You got in trouble.
So I walk up there. He said, "Close the door." I closed the door. He started clapping. Congratulations, you won Mr. Basketball. So he told me I wanted to be up Mr. Basketball. So he threw me off, because how he was looking at me.
Right.
And then 2 days later, I'm in the Commons again. He come out of his classroom with a mad face again. And then he said, "Yo, come in." Close the door. He started clapping again. "Congratulations, you won Gary Play of the Year."
Gatorade Player of the Year, and your name is in the Raptors at the Lehigh Gym. If you ever, anybody was to ever attend the Lehigh game, you will see Ash's name in the Raptors. Talk about that and that accomplishment. And so, at that senior year, who were like some of the other like good players that was kind of
you know Jabari Hines from Mount Vernon.
Jabari Hines.
Some dude named Shaquille Stokes, Jermaine Sanders.
Shaquille Stokes, he went to
Lincoln.
Cincinnati. Yeah, did he play at Cincinnati?
No, he played at Hofstra.
Shaquille Stokes, he did play at Hofstra.
Well,
that's right.
Hawaii, University of Hawaii. Then he went to Hofstra.
Right.
And then Jermaine Sanders, he went to Cincinnati.
Jermaine Sanders.
And then Siobhan Lewis, he played at St. Mary's too.
Okay.
Some good players. But yeah, so that's how I knew I won New York Mr. Basketball and Gatorade Player of the Year. But it was a blessing. Like I said, when I was playing, I wasn't playing for those awards. Like,
right. It just came to you.
Yeah, I was just playing to win. I wanted
to
to win state and on a good note and then everything. So it was a blessing from God. So.
Right. So that leadership and you learning in high school and being a great teammate and just learning you want to grind. I didn't skip that now. We get to all right. So freshman year, you stepping on the University of Villanova. Tell us your mindset, the freshman experience, what adjustments you speak on, like the adjustments you had to make transitioning from high school to that freshman year in college.
So when I got to Villanova, my mindset was, you know what, I want to work even harder. You know, I want to help this team be successful, and I was just like really determined and serious. Like I was dedicated like to the craft. Like I just wanted to do really well, and I wanted to impress the coach as well, to show him my work ethic. But you know, my freshman year it was tough in the beginning because you know it was a new adjustment. You know, like adjusting to the the different style of play in college,
different speed, everything's
different
faster.
speed. Also like just the work ethic and practice. Like it's even now it's more like it's times 100 now from high school. You know what I'm saying? The 2 a days. You know,
Jay
waking
Wright,
up at,
Jay Wright, he gonna work you.
And then waking up at 5. Like I remember that first summer there, we had to wake up at 5:30 in the morning every day, like Monday through Friday, I think it was. And then we would practice, and then after that go to class, and then come back to the gym again in the afternoon.
Right. So working out, weight room, you on your own, eating, you know.
So, I mean, like so basically that was my first time, honestly, that wasn't even my first time being away from home because I went to American Christian, but, I mean, I wasn't, I just felt like, I wasn't homesick, I wasn't any of that, I just wanted to, like I said, succeed and strive and work hard as I could.
All right, so freshman year at Villanova, talk about the